AOC, of course, is coming out condemning what she saw, rightly so, there in Times Square. The pro-Palestine movement, where people were just really, I mean, they'd make your skin crawl. You're like, who are these animals that are actually chanting about how wonderful this is, that children are being slaughtered and women raped and people being killed. The death toll now upwards of 1,000 in Israel. Who could those people possibly be? Well, AOC came out and condemned them. Rashida Tlaib, Cori Bush, none of them are doing so. Ilhan Omar, nope. Well, guess what? They're going to find themselves in a lot of trouble. And it's going to be more than 2.3 million followers that they lose. It might be more like $2.3 million, because who in the Democrat Party will give these people so much as a dime? Even the White House now came out and said how despicable they are. Imagine that. KJP, watch her here.
What is the president's message to members of Congress who seem to be equating the Hamas terror attack with actions that were previously taken by Israel?
Look, here's the thing, and which congressional members?
Well, there have been some members of Congress who have called for a ceasefire, and they have not gone as far as backing the administration's call for support for Israel.
So look, I've seen some of those statements this weekend, and we're going to continue to be very clear. We believe they're wrong, we believe they're repugnant, and we believe they're disgraceful. Our condemnation belongs squarely with terrorists who have brutally murdered, raped, kidnapped hundreds of Israelis. There can be no equivocation about that. There are not two sides here.
No, there are not two sides. Did you hear that, Bernie Sanders? Did you hear that, Rashida Tlaib? Did you hear that, New York Times? Did you hear that, Washington Post? Washington Post, who, by the way, today announced it's laying off 10% of its staff. 240 people there at the Washington Post will be laid off. 10% of the paper's staff, of course, owned by one of the richest men in the world, Jeff Bezos. And the reason for that is, well, nobody's reading the Washington Post anymore. I wonder why. You know, sometimes when you expose all that bias while trying to pretend that you're something else entirely, well, it doesn't sit so well with people. The paper's lost $100 million basically in the last year. Since 2021, I'm going to share some of these numbers with you. Audience down 28%. Subscriptions off 15%. Print revenue down 10%. Digital ads down 30%. I mean, I guess you just can't be a mouthpiece for the CIA and expect that everybody's going to believe you and want to subscribe to you and hear your opinion on things, right? Look, I mean, the Washington Post has become part of the problem. Legacy media is so much part of the problem. And when you've got government trying to feed a narrative from the top down, telling you that, oh, Hunter Biden's laptop is nothing but Russian disinformation, misinformation fed to us courtesy of Rudy Giuliani via the Russians. And then it turns out, no, Hunter Biden's laptop was all real. And he was under investigation by the FBI. When you try and sell us that storyline, or you try and tell us that there was no chance in HELL that coronavirus could have ever come from the Wuhan Institute of Virology, while the Wuhan Institute was actually studying coronavirus bat viruses, including with some $600,000 in U.S. taxpayer funding. Well, you know what? People get a little tired of that. Hey everyone, Trish Regan here. If you enjoyed that clip, please do me the favor of subscribing to the channel. Just hit that little subscribe button right over there. Did I do that right? Not quite, but you know where it is. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you get the alerts, and I'll see you back on the show.